-8 degrees outside. No, I'm sorry. It's -6 degrees outside. And it's 4:15 in the morning.
Good morning. You even want to roll all the way over?
Even the dog doesn't want to be up yet. Ooh, I am grumpy this morning. It's 4:15 in the morning. It's -6 degrees outside. And I gotta go fly to LA. Woo! Pro driving! Where's that Ferrari from? Ooh, look at that! Look at that! He's from my home state! 406. Except I guarantee you that's a tax dodge. I feel pretty good about that now. That made my day, Jeff.
That is a nice car.
We got to see a 550 Maranello, and it's from Montana. Or no, I lied. It's registered in Montana. That's a common thing. Hi, Jeff. Forgot to introduce you for the video.
Hello.
Jeff picked me up from the airport, and Jeff and I do the Mercedes-Benz Iron Shekel together. We're doing this gig, which is the Kia Stinger event, and we recently did the podcast for the Smoking Tire with Matt and Zach and those guys. It was a good time.
Those are good guys.
Good dudes. It was a good time. I will link to that right there, or yeah, one of those sides, wherever it is. I'll link to that somewhere so you can see that if you want. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I'm gonna get this set up here, and Jeff and I can discuss our job over the next, what do we got, 9 weeks?
9 weeks.
9 weeks. We got a Kia Stinger. I don't even know. What would you call this? Like a tour? Is this a tour?
Yeah, it's a tour.
There we go. All right, that'll work. So yeah, Jeff, how you doing, big guy? All right, doing good. Doing good to see you.
How about yourself? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Hey, we should go to Knockouts, a topless sports.
Calm down.
All right, welcome to LA. So Kia Stinger. So we're gonna do this event for the next 9 weeks. It's 9 cities, the launch tour, I guess. And yeah, what do you think about the Stinger? Because I did the event in Vegas, but you were not there.
It's not at that one.
Have you driven one yet?
I have.
And what did you think?
I thought it was amazing. I thought the 3.3 liter felt much more powerful than I expected it to feel.
Okay.
And I think that is because after reading through the specs, that a lot of the torque comes in early on in the RPM range.
Yeah.
I also liked the chassis setup of the vehicle and steering. I thought like they got those things dialed in to where it didn't feel too harsh. And I did drive it in LA, so I drove it on horrible roads.
Okay.
And I just thought, I had driven a C63 AMG before that, and I thought that one was set up too stiff. So in going from that to this, I would prefer the chassis of the Stinger over the C63.
I actually think, I would agree with you, by the way, but I think the overall Stinger is a more impressive car for so many reasons than any of the vehicles I would compare it to. Like, for example, if you were to compare it to like the Grand Coupe from the 6 Series, Grand Coupe, whatever, it's not even a comparison. Like, I like that homie in the Ferrari's got a
he's protecting that dash.
That's like a $30,000 dashboard. He's got
you gotta
like
protect that
microfiber towel on it.
He's probably LA rich. He probably keeps it outside, you know?
Yeah, or he's hood rich. Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so Stinger. Yeah, I don't know. I do think it's a really impressive little car. It's not necessarily, I don't know, I get why people are kind of apprehensive about it, but it's funny. Everybody I hear saying things like, oh, it's, 50 grand. That's so much money. And I'm like,
that's fully optioned.
That's fully optioned. And what kills me is that everybody that says that isn't looking at that type of car to begin with. They're not looking at the Audi Q7 or at the 6 Series or even the 3 Series, which isn't even a comparison, I don't think. The 3 Series Grand Coupe or whatever. anything that is even remotely close to it, it's such a better deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does make me laugh when people say it's expensive. I'm like, yeah, it's 50 grand, but that's because you're looking at it through the lens of like, well, I just paid 5 grand for my 240,
Right.
and that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It pretty much, the way it slots in is between every hole that all the German manufacturers have left. So if you look at
That's a
like,
way to look at it.
right. So if you look at the 3 Series, if you compare the 3 Series in terms of the 2-liter turbo one versus the 3 Series, like where it starts, you can get a Stinger below that. You know, with the same amount of, you know, with comparable power and everything. With a 340, there was one article I was reading. It compared the 340, was saying a 340 is like 50 grand.
Yeah.
And it will have like less power. 0 to 60 time is the 340's faster, but not by much, by like tenths of seconds. So it's not anything you're gonna really notice.
You're not really going to notice. And I do think that I've only really driven it on the autocross course in Vegas.
Yeah.
So, and I drove the balls off of it there as much as I could, but it wasn't necessarily like a mind-numbing car. But the fact that it's a pretty good-sized car. I wouldn't say it's heavy, but it's a full-size sedan.
But I'm not buying that car to go to the track.
No, exactly.
I'm buying that car to drive around where we're driving right now. So when I'm getting on the freeway, I want to lay in it, and I don't want to ever feel like it's struggling. I want to have good feel in the brakes, and I want to have like the hatchback where I can put all my shit in it when I want to put my shit in it.
Yeah, I like that it's not like a pass-through trunk. It's actually a hatchback.
It's like a bigger version of a hatchback, like a hot hatch, like a GTI or a Focus ST. Like with
a
bigger version.
2 like real doors and a real trunk actually. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, it's a pretty impressive car, man. I'm definitely pleased with it. I think it's funny how people compare it to so many different things. Like even Kia compares it to like the Panamera, which starts at like $30,000 more than the topped out Kia GT, the Stinger GT. Yeah. It's not even a comparison.
It's not. I don't think it's a comparison.
Obviously, the Panamera is a really nice car. I will say I think the Panamera is nicer inside.
Oh yeah, well but you're paying a lot more. It should be nice.
Yeah, and by the time you spec out one of those, it's literally double the price, and it's slower and doesn't have the power until you get to the turbo model,
right?
Which you're spending well over $100 grand for, and so it's not even. I don't know. It does make me laugh. When
it's a weird comparison. The Panamera is a weird comparison. I think 3 Series A4, A5,
I think A5 Sportback is ideally the best one, and if BMW made a 5 Series Sportback, that would be a perfect comparison because it's the size of a 5 Series, but they only make a Sportback in the 6
And here's the thing, though. Here's the number one thing. If you can live with the car, when you look around, you don't see one. So you're going to have something that is, right now at least, is exclusive. You know, BMW has saturated the market. Mercedes saturated the market. Audi saturated the market. I look around, especially here, and see them everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you buy one of those, you have the same thing that your neighbor has. And if you buy a Stinger, you only have the Stinger.
But Jeff, it's a Kia. I think that's the dumbest argument. Unless you're incredibly brand loyal, that is the same. The person that makes that argument, I think, is the same person that's like, I'm a bow tie guy, fuck Bird. You know, like I don't get that. I really don't. Like, if every company in the world has made good and bad products, Kia's made a lot of less than stellar products. This is not one of them. This is a genuinely good car. It makes me laugh though, because you do get those people that are like, well, every one of my vehicles is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm like, so do you own all Mazdas?
Yeah, and even then,
Mazda's made some shit over the years. Look at the B200 truck or whatever.
Which was
like a Ford Ranger, basically.
Yeah.
I actually don't know which way that went. Did Ford steal that from Mazda, or did Mazda steal that from Ford?
I think it was a Mazda that Ford took from them.
But like Mitsubishi did that too, because they had my dad had a 3000 GT R4
Dodge Stealth,
but he also had a Stealth RT. So we had both of those cars. They were the same
thing, yeah.
And then they did that with Eagle too. They did the Mitsubishi Eclipse was the Eagle Talon.
Yep.
Like I want to know which way that goes. Sometimes it's easy to tell, but I don't really care. So
it's weird how they were. And now they're doing it with the Fiat 124 and the
the Miata.
And the Miata, and they're also about to do it with the Toyota. That Supra, that is also with BMW, and Toyota does it with the 86 and the BRZ.
And well, that's a funny story though, because when Toyota wanted something fun,
Yeah.
so they went to Subaru and said, "Hey, why don't you guys design something cool and we'll give you access to all of our hybrid technology and direct injection and all that crap." And Subaru was like, "Well, we really kind of need that because we haven't updated our engines in 30 years. So yeah, what do we got to do?" And Toyota said, "Well, you got to make something rear-wheel drive." And Subaru was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I don't know if we can sacrifice our brand identity," but they fucking did it. And I will say, those cars are woefully underpowered, but they are fun.
They're fun.
They are fun.
The ones I have driven have been a blast to drive.
Yeah.
They are underpowered though. When I have a GTI that's 220 horsepower, so I have plenty of power, and it's a turbo engine. So I think turbo engines tend to feel sometimes like they have a little bit more power just because of the way they're set up.
Yeah.
That's what the 86 and the BRZ need. Like, they need that feeling in that car.
It's gotta feel zippy. Like, it handles really well, but if you could put, like, there was I don't know who made it, but I think there's a supercharger kit out there.
Yeah, Cosworth makes a supercharger for it.
I think a supercharger kit in that little car would be pretty awesome. Like, even if it was like
285, I think.
That's plenty. Yeah, I think like 300 in that car would honestly be like a little too much.
Yeah,
like 250, 270, I think would be pretty solid for that little car.
Agreed.
But back to the Kia Stinger. What are we looking forward to on this event? I'm looking forward to playing with the car a little bit. I'm hoping to drive it on the road a little instead of just like.
I hope so, but we'll see. I don't know.
I'm not banking on that.
I'm not banking on that.
But if we get an opportunity to do that, I would like to try. And then, do you know if anybody like from Kia is going to be here?
I would imagine probably at the training, because they want you to understand what Kia is all about. And considering that we do have, there's 15 of us.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to want to make sure that everybody understands that.
How many times do you think we're going to have to say Kia, Kia, Kia today?
I hope none. I hope you can do that by just adding up all the times I'm going to say Kia over the next time.
I don't know, dude. I think we're going to have... Let's do, in case we don't do it, let's do one for the camera. You ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3. Kia, Kia, Kia! All right, sweet. That's all I'm doing.
That's it.
Today.
That's it. I'm not
no
doing
more.
it. If we do have to do it, I'm just not going to do it.
Cut to every time we say it the whole day. It's just constant back and forth. Oh, that's awesome. Well, yeah, the Stinger is pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
We'll do a couple updates on the road, too, in the different cities, and we'll try to let everybody know what we think of it and what happens over the course of the event. It should be pretty cool. So
we'll have some stories.
Yeah, we will definitely.
We have stories from just the couple times we've done the Iron Shekel, and and then we're doing this for 9 weeks, so we're gonna have.
Yeah, we have a lot of stories.
We have a lot of good ones.
I don't know how much of that I'm allowed to share though.
Always make sure you PDI your car. Always make sure you PDI your car.
That fucking guy.
Don't ever use your car unless you PDI'd it.
That was so funny. Hey, you know what we don't do? We don't drive our cars with the windows down and the music on.
Harman Kardon sounds, but you don't do that. You don't.
Oh my
Unless
God.
you PDI'd it, and then everything is okay.
Then it's totally acceptable.
It's all okay as long as you PDI'd. Okay, you PDI'd it, good to go.
Mr. PDI.
Mr. PDI. I love that guy.
All right, well, anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to get out of here. Actually, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm sitting in the car. Jeff's going to get us out of here.
We're on our way to getting out of here
we're going to the training right now for the Kia Stinger event, so we're going to go learn. Oh, the camera's probably going to move here. Jeff's taking this corner a little aggressive.
I got it. Balance.
Oh,
weight transfer. Weight transfer.
Shit. Yeah, don't transfer my camera off the dash.
Weight transfer. It's like look
at me, I'm leaning
the water.
Like a motherfucker.
It's like the water in the cup when you go to driving school.
What are you, initial D? We're not drifting rental van.
They did that at like the first driving school I ever went to performance driving. They had the water in the cup and they were
Where did you go to driving school?
This is Chuck Waller Raceway. It's a Mustang. The guy was like puts the water on your windshield.
That sounds like
and he goes, watch the water. That's the weight transfer. Oh, how it moves in the glass.
Was he like 68?
No, he was like early 40s.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds like one of those ideas that somebody came up with like way back in the day and was like
Bobby Orr Motorsport.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I miss Bobby. I love Bobby. He's great. That was actually the first driving school I ever went to was Bobby Orr.
So look how that just tied right in there.
That was wild. Anyway, have a good day, guys. Bye. I parked next to this behemoth. Oh, it's got KO2s on it. Man, like, all right, yeah. That's a Sean truck.
That's definitely a Sean truck. Look, it's red. It's Utah. Like, is this Sean's? Hey, look at his little dorky mouse logo. His Topolino Speed logo. That's Sean's truck. And evidently he started smoking. Oh, I'm gonna give him shit for that.